So they've decided not to charge Chad Daybell with murder and connection to the death of Lori Vallow's fourth husband, Charles Vallow. Now, we all know at this point that Lori did have communication with Chad at in about that time frame regarding the life insurance, that he had changed the life insurance. Now, I'm sure that they had communicated a lot more than what they know. Maybe they're missing one or two of the burner phones that Lori and Chad had. But at this point, they're not releasing all of the text messages and documentation that they have on this case. The reason for not charging Chad Daybell in the death of Charles Vallow is not that they don't think that he is guilty. It's that the likelihood of actual conviction is not as high as they would like. But we know that they were in communication with each other in and around that time. You know, Chad may not have been there in person, but he definitely was there, you know, in the planning stages of it all. Likewise, we know that when it comes to all of this, all these people who were murdered eventually, all of it stems from the information and the teachings of Chad Daybell to Lori on the end of life prophecies, and that they had been selected to lead the 144,000 into, you know, the new world that was to be. But does it make Chad actually guilty for the charges of the death of Charles Vallow? I think it does. I think they should have filed charges against him, but the grand jury didn't. Now, the grand jury in Arizona got the case of Chad Daybell and Lori, both of them, oddly, on April 1st. On April Fool's Day 2021, the grand jury got both of the cases at the same time. So they've deliberated on Chad's case a little bit longer than actually on Lori's case before deciding that there wasn't enough there. The likelihood to actually charge and convict just wasn't there. So Chad's not going to be charged with, you know, the death of Charles Vallow. Now, he still faces the murder of his wife and the murder charges for JJ and for Ty Lee in Idaho, along with the conspiracy charges, destruction of evidence, hindering prosecution, and all those charges in Idaho are still there. And he has pled, you know, not guilty to those charges. So he does carry the presumption of innocence on the charges, even though, you know, in the eyes of the public out here, we've already convicted him and put the needle in his arm. It's hard to say that he's innocent based upon the evidence that we've already seen. The best thing for Chad at this point in his life is that he seems to have an attorney, Mr. Pryor, who is actually doing the job that he was hired to do, unlike some other people's attorneys who are, you know, kind of file the most fruitless motions constantly. But Chad's trial is set, you know, in Idaho to begin in November. They have it scheduled for a 5-week long trial. Now, again, it could go longer than 5 weeks. It could go 6, 7, 8, 9. There is no actual ending date. They just block out a total amount of time, in this case, 5 weeks, to hear the testimony that they already have. It could, you know, wrap up a lot sooner than 5 weeks, but most of the time they usually go right into the amount of time that they have set aside for it. So Lori Vallow's case, you know, and her charges have been stayed, meaning that they have been put on hold until she has been restored to competency level. But Chad's trial will continue and to go forward from here. And it begs to, to a lot of people have wondered, What's next? What's the next shoe that's going to drop in this case? Will we see additional murder charges, additional charges against either Chad or Lori in this case? Or are we going to just go forward with the charges that we have, and see where everything goes from here? A lot of different media outlets and YouTube channels on top of that are speculating on where everything is going to go from here, especially when it comes to Chad. Will Chad, because of his distance and time away from Lori, will he, go forward, or will he try to roll over on Lori and blame everything on Lori? Or will Lori do the opposite and blame everything on Chad once she is restored back to mental competency? And I was asked the other day, when do I think the case with Lori Vallow will eventually wrap up to the point where she is found restored to be able to stand trial? And I honestly, I look at this and I look at the way that the court system is and the backlog with the courts. And I hate to say it, but I don't think we're going to see Lori's case progress to the point of an actual trial date for at least a year, maybe even longer from now. But right now, Chad's case is going forward, and he hasn't been charged in Arizona. So thank you again for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day today and a wonderful upcoming weekend. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate if you click that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when all my new videos or live streams come up. You take care out there. Stay safe.